Hey guys, this is HD.
And this is Pain User.
And we're back for the IGN games between sixjaxViBE and between SeleCT. And this is game 2 between SeleCT and ViBE here in the IPL. If you guys haven't seen game 1 yet, it should be on the IGN website as well as on our YouTube channels. Make sure to check it out. YouTube.com/HDStarcraft and YouTube.com/StratBunker.
Indeed. First game went pretty handily to SeleCT. Very well played. Out macroed ViBE. Established that early pressure with the 2 racks, and then just converted it into a long, drawn-out macro game where he pretty much had the upper hand in Army and Econ the entire game.
He built his base like it was an architectural masterpiece, man.
Yeah.
He just made it into this like little maze for Zerg units to funnel in and around, made it impossible, secured every single angle, and he just had a bigger army and macroed a much better game than his counterpart ViBE did. And you know, I like this pick by ViBE here on Shakura's Plateau. This is a 4-player map. It's very, very big, and it's very conducive to building a large macro game, getting your early hatcheries, lots of places where you can expand to your 3rd and to your 4th. And I think we're in store for a pretty long-term game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if SeleCT does the same kind of 2 racks pressure, and it looks like he is already sending that second SCV out to build that second barrack. So.
Yep.
Probably going to see a little bit of 2 racks pressure out of him. I don't know that he'll commit very much to it on this map, but then again, he didn't commit very much to it on the last map either. He just dropped the bunker, forced a few drones to be pulled, actually killed 4 drones on that initial push, and forced a bunch of Zerglings to be built. So I would say that the 2 racks paid dividends last time it was attempted. So let's see if the 2 racks can pay for itself this time as well.
You know, the thing about the 2 racks is you just don't need to do that much damage. You don't need to commit. It's just a standard opening. You get a ton of Marines out, you throw the bunker down, and you scare the Zerg. You make them build more Zerglings. You don't let them drone up, and it works great against the 14 hatch opening, which ViBE has opened with the 14 hatch. And here we go. The SCV is actually going to throw a bunker on the low ground here.
I think that can be really good if you actually get that bunker up and it's not in sight of the Overlord. I think ViBE has vision of that bunker, so he will probably see it going up. He's already pulling drones out, so he definitely saw that. Pulling so many drones here. ViBE really doesn't want this bunker to go up, but the SCV is in that little nook right there with his back against the wall, unable to be attacked by the drones, so that bunker is most definitely going up. ViBE is going to try and prevent any Marines from getting in there, but SeleCT sends his Marine up and around the drones, preventing them from actually seeing which avenue he's going to come in from, and it looks like he's going to be able to get that first Marine into the bunker, but he still hasn't managed to pick off a drone yet.
Yeah, nice job by ViBE to keep his drones alive, and I really like his dancing of drones. He actually prevented a lot of those SCVs from going in there and repairing the bunker, and he also allowed the Marine to hop, and he did allow the Marine to hop inside, but as long as he's got his drones here, he should be able to deflect this second bunker. Even with the Marine down here on the low ground, this Spine Crawler is going to be absolutely vital. If you can get the Spine Crawler up, he'll be able to hold this off, and he's using his Zerglings and drones in conjunction to defend while his Spine Crawler is still morphing, and it looks like he will not. Yes, he will prevent the bunker from going up. Nice play here.
Yeah, absolutely. And that Spine Crawler will be able to clean that bunker up, no problem. So really, what SeleCT's done here is he's forced several drones to not be mining for quite a bit of time in the early game, and he forced a ton of Ling production and was able to kill a few Lings, and really all he lost there was 2 SCVs. So now SeleCT is in a great position to just drop his natural expansion and then wall off that natural with 3 Raxes. Then it's completely Baneling safe. It's also Ling proof, and that'll give him a chance to get his double gas going, tech up, possibly get out some Blue Flame Hellions, maybe some tanks, depending on which way he wants to go, and then he can press forward from there.
Hey man, that seems to be the name of the game these days. You know, 2 racks opening, drop down to Blue Flame Hellions and roll out. Hey, but SeleCT here, even after his 2 racks, he's actually still being aggressive with Marines. I actually really like this play. He hasn't given up map control, as would be expected, because he can easily wall this off with a 3rd barracks, and I think we're going to see that happen fairly soon. He's going to be pretty aggressive with these Marines, but with the Spine Crawler here, I think it's going to be kind of a stalemate. I don't think either player is really going to risk it here, and I think he's just going to be content to keep the Zerg at bay.
Yeah, it's just a really good idea to do that against Zerg anyway. If you're not gonna full-on pressure, just feigning the idea of pressure, and looks like ViBE is gonna go ahead and get a Roach Warren here, and he's also teching to layer, so he's probably just gonna get a few Roaches out just to be safe to any kind of Hellion play, maybe wall off his ramp a little bit. But one thing SeleCT is definitely gonna be able to do with these Marines is, for one, he has ViBE intimidated. ViBE doesn't know what else he's building. He doesn't know if well, really, yeah, honestly, he has no idea what's coming at this point. I would love to see him sacrifice an Overlord or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Select here. He's got Marines on the center of the map right now. He's actually just gonna control the map for now. He has his second orbital on the way. His income just trailing a little bit behind the Zerg. This is actually really standard. I don't see any problem right here, and I think Select is in a fine position in this game, especially with those Marines roaming around the map. And I think eventually we're gonna start to see. I mean, I think that Vibe is gonna stick with his Infestor Ling play. I don't honestly see him changing it up. No, Spire maybe going down here. Is he gonna throw a Spire? No, it's an Infestation thing.
I like how he hit it either way.
Yeah.
It's just a good idea to hide that in general and prevent Select from knowing exactly what he's doing. And it looks like, again, we're going to see those really early infestors out of Vibe. But if we look at the income tab, Vibe is in such a good position as opposed to last game.
It's the power of the Zerg, man.
As opposed to last game, though, I mean, at this point in the game, last game, he was already down like 15 drones.
Absolutely.
So this is a much better position for him to transition into the mid and late game. And if he can hold this economic lead and run away with it, he'll be in a great position to run away with this game. I wouldn't say he's there yet. And it looks like Select teching straight up to Starport.
Yeah.
Probably going to try and do some really early drops. And I really like that. On a map this big and this wide open, it's extremely difficult to bring pressure to the Zerg. And oftentimes when I'm playing against a Zerg on this map, I'll find that it's very easy, especially cross-map diagonal spawn. It's very easy for them to just run away with the game and play that defensive Zerg macro style where they just run rampant, spread creep everywhere, take expos, and continue to drone because they have overlords on the map. They usually have control over the Xel'Naga towers, so they feel very safe on a map like this. And if you get those really early medevacs out and you send them on a trajectory that's not very easy for the Zerg to scout with overlords, if they don't get spotted, you can do a ton of damage with those drops, and you can just bring the pressure to the Zerg very early on in the game.
Absolutely. Pain User always there to drop the knowledge bomb for all you guys out there who may be playing this game at a more of a gold or platinum level. Pain User is an extremely good Terran player, one of the best in the world.
I don't know about that.
Well, you are one of the best, man. I'll
Thanks,
say
man.
it. In my opinion, one of the best. It looks like Select here is actually going to do exactly what you said. Going to go off in a kind of oblique trajectory around the side of the map with 2 dropships. And this is what you got to do as a Terran. If you're not going to go for the Blue Flame Harass, you got to go for some Marine drops, and you got to bring down the Thunder, baby.
Yeah, and he's actually going for that double Marine drop. It's a little bit more risky, but it definitely packs a much stronger punch than just a single Marine or a single medevac full of Marines. And one thing that...
Well, he's not going to be able to kill them any drones, but he will be able to pick the hatchery off at least.
Yeah, he's definitely going to deny this third. He might lose a bunch of Marines here, but he's going all out on the third. He gets around it, but he picks all of the Marines up without losing any. But he does get his dropships fungled. I don't know if he has enough energy for another fungal and infested Terrans.
He does have enough energy for another fungal, but not enough energy for infested Terrans. It's a little unfortunate for Vibe. If he had one more infestor, maybe 2, he would have been able to pick off this double party of dropships, and that would have been a huge loss. But as it stands, Select gets out of the way with his 2 dropships and most of his Marines.
That's interesting. That right there just really showcases, I would say, probably one of the only downsides in the infestor buff is that the decreased duration makes them less good for picking off and trapping medevacs
with infested Terrans.
Dropping infested Terrans.
Oh, look at that though. It looks like Vibe doesn't really care about the nerf or buff, however you want to think about it. He just killed a nice little pack of Marines with another fungal growth, and now this Marine party is down to only 5. Select unloading the Marines temporarily just to heal them up a bit, and then we're probably going to see him mobilize once again. And as we switch over to Select's main, looks like he's kind of just gearing up for a macro game, and he's still kind of bunkered down inside of both of his bases with Vibe controlling the center of the map.
Yeah, one thing that's really impressive about Select is that he has managed to stay a little bit ahead on supply this entire time. It's 97 to 87 right now, and he is managing to harass at the same time that he's doing all this. He has kept Vibe down to 2 hatch, 2 base, but Vibe right now is taking his 3rd and 4th at the same time, and he's starting to run rampant with the creep. So he is just now starting to get into that Zerg, the Sauron Zerg mode, where they're just taking the entire map, spreading everywhere, but Select doing a very good job managing it.
Yeah, Select, what he needs to do right now, Pain User, is I think he just needs to continually harass with his dropships. Because he's on 2 base right now, he's about to get the 3rd, and I like this. Originally, it looked like he was going to grab the 3rd here, but he says, no, you know what, I think I'm going to get it here instead. And this is kind of the staging ground for Terran players on this map. A, you grab a very safe expansion. B, you're just a footstep away from hitting the potential 4th and hitting this expansion over here. So we could potentially see some fireworks happen over here at the 12 o'clock location between these 2 bases.
Yeah, and once he gets that PF up there, it's just really securing and locking down that position. It looks like Select is going to go ahead and push through this top pathway. Probably try and creep up on the 3rd and do some damage there, but Infester's coming in and neural parasiting all of the tanks and fungling some of the Marines there.
Very nice
take
fungles.
those out.
That was beautiful. Pain User, I'm going crazy right now because so many Marines just got taken out. And this is actually huge because now without any Marines around the tanks, the infested Terrans can come down and pick off the tanks. And ViBE needs to control this area because this is a big threat to ViBE and his security of this 3rd expansion over here. If he allows this area to be controlled, especially the high ground, Select, if he can pick off these rocks and get to the high ground with the tanks, that spells disaster for ViBE.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the best idea for ViBE to be killing those rocks right now. There's no way he's going to be able to pressure this expansion with the PF there.
Oh no.
Just roasting away at those Zerglings, but
Suicide order.
Select is launching another push through the top of the map here. I don't know if he has enough right now to force his way over to the 3rd, but he's also dropping on the bottom half of the map right now. At the same time, he's distracting ViBE's attention, and he's going to be sending a drop to that brand new 4th base of ViBE.
This is beautiful.
Yeah, it's
this is
smart.
what all good players want to do. You want to attack at multiple locations, and you know he actually may not attack up here. No, here we go. He's going to start to mobilize some of his Marines, and here we go, man. No drones though to kill, so a little bit of an unlucky gamble there. Roll up the dice by Select.
Yeah, it's just luck of the draw that there weren't drones there. He's just starting to Maynard some drones right now.
There we go.
Select is going to be able to pick those off, and he is attacking through the top as well, but he does get some of those Marines fungal growth, and they're getting shelled by their own tanks. But ViBE wisely pulls back, but I don't think ViBE has enough to stop this push.
Yeah, and this is huge. This is what I was talking about. Select, if he can control this high ground, it spells disaster for ViBE, who loses so many infestors. That was horrible. You gotta keep those infestors alive because that energy is so recyclable. But now that Select has high ground status over ViBE's expansion, what can ViBE do? His drone line is gonna get absolutely shelled. And this was all thanks to the beautiful 2-pronged attack, pulling ViBE's attention away, and now look at this, tanks and Marines on the high ground.
Yeah, now that he has this high ground position, it's going to be almost impossible for ViBE to take that back without suffering heavy casualties. Right. And I don't think he's going to try and do it. He might just try and expand along the right side of the map, maybe even go onto Select's side of the map, because really Select's not pushing out of his front door very much. He's launching all of his attacks through the back.
Yeah.
But Select is probably going to switch that up now that he's killed this 3rd expansion of ViBE's.
Whoa, 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 hold that thought. We do have a Nidus Worm somewhere on the map. I just saw it building and I hear it. It is actually coming from behind here. So hey, ViBE says, I'm not gonna try to funnel up through this ramp to attack the high ground. I'm gonna come through the backside. But unfortunately for him, it gets caught by Select, so attentive, and he comes back there and picks it off before enough Zerglings could come and flank this Marine tank army. And ViBE here is just kind of burrowed and chilling for now. Unfortunately, they're not Banelings, but ViBE may be able to kill off some units here. Unburrows when the Marines pass over and picks off 2 tanks as a result.
Wow, that was actually brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed with that. He waited for the Marines to run by, unburrowed, picked off 2 tanks for free, lost maybe 4 lings right there, and then got out of the picture. That's really impressive, and he was super patient right there. I wasn't sure whether Select had seen those or not, whether he was going to scan and pick them off, but ViBE waiting. But Select has 3 upgrades coming on his infantry right now, and he also has weapons 1 coming for his vehicles. But it looks like he's going to drop into a smorgasbord of Zerg defenses here, getting poked from all sides by Spine Crawlers, Mutants overhead, and Queens, losing both of those dropships for almost no damage, but doesn't really matter. Select staying on top of his macro, still ahead in supply, still has another army ready and waiting back at his base. Yeah. And it looks like ViBE might try and push the top right now, but I don't know if that's the best idea because he's definitely going to be trading bases here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Select dropping here didn't really do too much damage, but he still has such good macro, and like you said, going for that attack on the north may not be the best position, and he is going to fall back here, Pain User, with a lot of his Zerglings, his Infestors, Mutas, and Ultras, as Select has set up an establishment here, which is very difficult for the Zerg to deal with. The gas here getting shelled by the tanks, and the gas is such a crucial resource for the Zerg army. And right now it looks like ViBE, he says, you know what, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to try to funnel through the front door here. And this may actually do some damage, but ViBE, he needs something to deal with this tank line. And his Mutalisk just getting absolutely decimated. Infestors now coming in to try to do what they can. And this is getting pretty desperate. I don't know, man.
One Ultra remains at the natural, getting taken down, and Select really just using the map to his advantage, using the terrain beautifully, shelling the third and the fourth from relatively untouchable position. And yeah, not much ViBE can do about that. He's just taking these really advantageous positions and using them to pick off the hatchery.
What do you suppose ViBE could do right now? I'm a Zerg player and I can't really think of much. Actually, you know what? Nidus. He's getting another Nidus Swarm right now. That may be what he needs to do, but there it goes. Gets taken out by SCVs.
So active about watching the minimap and killing those Nidus Swarms.
Yeah.
Doing a real good job about that. But yeah, ViBE, honestly, one thing that looks like we're going to have a little bit of a turf war over here between a command center and a hatchery, but I think Select has a little bit more muscle at this point in the game to make things happen.
Yeah.
He can probably force that expansion up there, but
it's going to put an eviction notice on this hatchery's door.
yeah, straight up. One thing that ViBE could have done this game would possibly be to invest some of that gas that he invested on Ultras. And what are these tanks doing?
These tanks have been sent through the wrong direction here. I think they took a left toward Albuquerque, left detour, and they are not in a very good place here. They're going to get picked off by these Mutalisks.
They definitely are. Anyway, what my point was is what ViBE could have done is he could have invested a lot of that gas that he spent on Mutalisks and those Ultralisks on Broodlords. And Broodlords would have really helped him to de-siege those positions that that Select had. The one being above the third and the other one being to the right of the fourth base. So, or the pocket expo, as I like to call it, in bottom middle.
Right.
So yeah, now Select getting really irritated that he put that hatchery there to block his command center, sending pretty much all of his forces out here, spreading them very well in the event that there were banelings, but there are not banelings, so he doesn't really have to worry about spreading his wings that much. And this squad of tanks in the back is
brutal,
absolutely shelling away right now, taking out Ultralisks, Infestors, Link. Check the kills on some of these tanks.
This tank here, man, it's got 23 kills, 7 kills, 13, 19, and 18. That's over, I think it's about 100 kills, about.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, this is just not looking good. We pulled the units lost tab. We can see the Zerg players suffering casualties in terms of numbers of units as well as terms of units per cost, or cost per unit, however you want to get tongue-tied. sixjaxViBE here is in a lot of trouble. This little narrow corridor is just not where the Zerg wants to be, and Select is constantly abusing these narrow positions. And it looks like not only is he going to slap the eviction notice on there, man, he's gonna put the boot into sixjaxViBE's butt and kick him out the window.
He's gonna level the building.
He's gonna decimate it, destroy the building, and Select here sieging up once again a lone Ultralist. What can ViBE do?
At this point, he's just lost way too much. He hasn't really managed to build up a pack of Ultras. He's just been losing individual Ultras here and there. He's been losing individual Infestors here and there. Select has been doing a great job of what is going on here. We have a bunch of SCVs running around the map, getting engaged by drones right here. Doesn't have enough energy for the fungal, and it looks like we have a straight up Congo dance line heading through the middle of the map. I do not know what's going on. Maybe they just temporarily allied. Greenpeace shook hands, called it a day.
I have no idea. Maybe ViBE here is just, I guess Select is kind of luring these drones over to a planetary fortress. Oh, this is evil. The drones are like, I thought we were friends.
What a human thing to do. So Terran of you.
Anyway, Select here sieging up on the high ground for the second time today. I think a GG is in order.
Yeah, I agree with you. ViBE just, playing these games out to the best of his ability, not going to GG out too early. We saw how, if anybody caught the Huck versus Hydra games at MLG, Hydra actually left one of the games due to some hallucinated units.
Ouch.
On Huck's
part. I did not see that.
He didn't know that they were real units. Huck actually hallucinated a bunch of Void Rays and Colossus. Hydra saw his army and immediately GG'd out instead of fighting the last battle and then playing it out.
Oh.
Just left the game.
Hydra's my hero.
I know.
I can't believe you would do that.
I know.
Oh no. Anyways.
So, Vibe does GG.